Buffy's hidden love finally revealed.
We know Angel is alive.
You're harboring a vicious killer.
But he's better now.
Her friends will never forgive the pain he's caused.
I'm gonna kill Angel.
Can I come?
An all-new Buffy. Her secret is out.
You're harboring a vicious killer.
I'm gonna kill Angel.
Can I come?
An all-new Buffy.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Slade, the Buffyverse Revisited. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm your other host, James.
And this week, we will be diving into Season 3, Episode 7, Revelations.
Yes.
Revelation 6-8. Or, wait, wrong show. Sorry.
Nope, wrong show.
Wrong show.
Wrong show. Sorry.
James, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm all right. Getting over a little bit of the flu. Was sick most of this past week. So
Yes, I'm convinced it was scurvy.
it might have been scurvy. I mean, I haven't been out pirating the high seas recently, but I mean,
Now, that's upsetting, honestly.
I agree.
I expect more from you.
I know. But I mean, I've got a full-time job. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
You know,
I guess.
that
I
takes
guess
up
let's slide.
40 to 45 hours of my week. There doesn't leave a lot of extra time for pirating the high seas.
Damn.
Unfortunately.
Well, I'll take up the slack then, and
I appreciate it. You do have to grow a majestic pirate beard like I have, though.
no, that's not going to happen. I can't deal with that. This is as long as I allow it to get.
Then I'm not sure you're qualified to pirate the high seas, or
Wow.
chop down trees like I am apparently getting ready to do.
So you're now the gatekeeper of pirating?
I mean,
Wow.
I mean, have you ever seen a pirate worth his salt without a majestic beard?
Yeah, his name is Captain Jack Sparrow.
He's got a pretty sweet goatee.
Yeah, but that's not a majestic beard.
That's true, but he does keep it bound in those two little pigtails. So there's a lot more going on there than just a goatee.
Yeah, well, that's just the way it is, and no one cares. So, why don't?
How about you? How's your week?
Oh, not bad. I was telling you before we began recording. Same old thing, different day at this age. As I said earlier, when you have a day or a week where nothing bad happens, that's good. That's a good day or a good week.
It's true.
So no complaints for me.
Okay.
Do we have any correspondence or anything to discuss from last week prior to jumping into this week?
We do, actually.
Oh my.
We have. Let me pull it up here. I should have been more prepared. I apologize.
Yeah, you really should have been. I mean, you're here we are. We're doing this super high budget professional show, and
I'm just
you're making us look like a couple of fucking jerk offs.
like I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, like you haven't even computered before.
Like I've never computered before. We got a comment from a young lady by the name Samantha.
Okay.
She goes by SW on the old YouTubes.
The tubes of you.
The tubes of you. Her name is Samantha, based on her username, and she says she left a comment on what episode? Episode 5 of this season, Homecoming.
Okay.
So at the time of this recording, 2 episodes ago.
Uh-huh.
And she says, found you two D-bags pursuing Spotify looking for Buffy podcasts. Enjoy listening every week. FYI, you two went off the rails this week.
You mean perusing, I think is what you meant to say.
That's what I said.
No, you said pursuing.
Did I?
Yes, roll back the tape, Francis.
I was just gonna say, play it back. Play it back.
You definitely said pursuing.
Maybe
She
not.
was perusing.
We'll have to. I guess we'll find out when I edit later
Yeah.
for
Well,
YouTube.
let's not forget I have the audio version, so
Right.
fuck you.
No, I'm not saying I would correct it. I'm saying
Oh.
I guess I'll find out for sure when I'm editing for the YouTube upload. So
The tubes.
but yeah, so
said she found us. How's that again?
perusing Spotify looking for Buffy podcasts.
Ah, yes, there are others out there. No one gives a fuck about them.
No.
Obviously, this is the king of all. We're the king of all Buffy podcasts. Come on.
We are the best.
What can anyone else offer that can even begin to compete with ours?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Literally nothing.
Have we actually bothered to listen to any of the other Buffy podcasts to see if anything we're saying right now is true?
No, but there's no
No.
need. There's
no need to, though.
I mean,
There's absolutely no need to.
when you're batting 1,000, do
Right.
you go to other batters and ask them how to improve?
Listen, here's the thing. This Buffy podcast has one thing that you're not going to find on any of the other Buffy podcasts.
Yeah, what's that?
2 cis white males discussing Buffy.
Yes, exactly. And
You're not going to find that on any other Buffy podcast.
No, you won't.
And what is more important than what 2 heterosexual cis white males have to say about anything? About anything.
Exactly. Come on, people. Come on.
I'm kidding, of course.
I'm not.
I do think we are the only one out there where it's 2 straight dudes talking about Buffy. I think most of the other podcasts are like, male female co-hosts or female co-hosts.
Are you just assuming their gender?
I am.
I think you're going to need to hashtag and get back with reality here, my friend.
But from what I've been able to tell, that seems to be the hosting situation on of the other Buffy podcasts I've happened to stumble across.
I've never perused it myself. I did way back before we started. That's right, because I wanted to see like what was out there, how much was out there. If I remember correctly, there wasn't much.
No, when we first decided to start doing this, I did the same. I looked to see what else was out there, and there weren't a lot out there. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 at the time, and they had been going for a while. In fact, if they're only covering Buffy, they're probably done by now.
Yeah.
But since we've been doing this, numerous copycats have sprung up to try and dethrone us as the #1 premier Buffyverse podcast.
I mean, I let the work speak for itself.
Right.
If you want the best, you come to the best, and that would be probably not us. But anyway,
so thank you for one, thank you for using our preferred pronouns, which are douche and bag.
Yes, exactly. We'll also accept dick and head.
Right. We'll let you decide though who's dick and who's head and who's douche and who's bag.
Right.
Or maybe we're both.
We're interchangeable.
Right.
I mean, not picky.
Right. No. We go both ways. So anyway, yes, thank you for leaving the comments, Samantha. We appreciate it. Thank you for listening. um, or
Definitely.
or viewing, whatever. Um, if you've decided to watch it on YouTube.
You know, me, if it doesn't happen a lot, but if I go back and watch or listen to one of our episodes, I find myself sometimes I want to just listen. So I listen to the podcast, the audio.
Right.
Sometimes I want to watch it. I'll do so. I go back and forth myself. So I have
Yeah,
other people probably do the same thing depending on what they're
yeah, depending on what the
doing.
circumstance. Yeah, I I watch it again, obviously when I do the edits to upload to YouTube. Um, and then I usually don't watch the video version right away again. I do listen to the audio version of the podcast every Monday morning after it drops while I'm working
Yeah.
in the morning. And then uh, usually at some point during the week, I'll go back and watch the video version, um, especially if it was a particularly hectic episode and I know there was
Some shit's about to go down.
yeah, and there was a lot of non-verbal interplay between you and I.
Yeah,
Well,
like how often do you when you're re-watching or re-listening do you like cringe like, "Oh, I can't believe I said that," or
oh,
"I
oh,
can't believe like just," you know what I mean?
oh yeah, oh yeah. Pretty much every time we like,
Pretty much every episode.
pretty much every episode.
Mhm.
No, honestly, pretty much every time we like really deviate from like the fucking episode.
Oh, like when we go off the rails?
Like when we go completely off the rails. Sometimes even if we don't go completely off the rails, I'll be listening and I'll be like, why can't we just focus on what we're doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
um
We both have that gene, I think. Some people call it brilliance. Some people call it utter stupidity. I think it's somewhere in the middle there.
definitely.
But
Definitely.
we can't seem to stay focused
Right.
on
Uh,
seriousness. I never could. I just I can't. I don't know.
right. The only time, well, I won't say the only time, but um like when I'm working, like that tends to be when you're going to find me at my most focused at what's actually going on and
Well,
what
yeah,
needs to be
yeah.
done.
You're
Um,
getting paid, and
right,
plus you're expected, you know,
right,
to
but
perform in a professional manner.
right, but outside of that, I very rarely take myself or things
Anything that goes on
serious.
seriously, yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty much me. I
which
life.
which has gotten me into trouble numerous times.
Oh yeah, and it
But
will continue to, and probably
right,
until the day I die. So
right, right.
anyway, I think we've
Um,
wasted enough time
we
jerking
have.
each other off.
We have. Again, Samantha, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Um, and this it just further goes to prove to everyone that if you comment, we will discuss it. Um, so
Yeah,
uh,
especially if you call us names and
if you call us names, yes.
things of that
Uh,
nature.
So please follow Silver Siren and Samantha on over to either Facebook and YouTube and leave us some comments. That
You know,
being, oh, go
wait a
ahead.
minute now let me stop you there.
Sure.
That I was thinking about something last night. I was listening to one of my podcasts that I enjoy listening to. Not to say that I don't enjoy listening to ours, but you know what I mean.
I know
And
what you mean. Yeah.
uh, I thought, I don't think we have ever said this, but I'll go ahead and say it. Hey, it would be great if anyone and everyone who listens to this would go and rate us, whether it's at Apple, Stitcher, anywhere you get this podcast where you're able to rate us, rate us, give us that 27-star rating or whatever the hell it is. Because apparently that really helps the algorithm on these different delivery systems bump us up. So, hey, do it or
Yes.
don't. I don't
Yeah.
really give a fuck. I'm still going to do the show. So
Give us.
it doesn't
Yes.
really matter, honestly. But I thought, hey, I don't think we've ever said that. But
I think
um,
I think you used to closing out the show back like during the first season.
oh,
Um,
wow.
Right. And then I think we
remember
just
the
gave
first
up.
season now, so yeah, I really don't. I'm
And then
old, dude. I'm
I think we just
44.
gave up. We were just like,
Yeah, I was just like, fuck it. Nobody's rating it. Who cares? I'm still
who
gonna do
cares?
it.
We're still gonna do it.
It's not like looking to get paid or something, you
Right.
know.
If people listen, people listen. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, definitely rate us. Show the algorithms that you like us and you wanna hear more like us or us.
Hit that like and subscribe button, guys, and that bell notification. Fuck, man. If I don't. Anyway, let's just move on before I get started on that fucking tangent. Why don't you?
Here's what I'm gonna do for you, Jeremy.
Wait. I'm in the mood for some shake and bake.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you shake and bake
Mm-hmm.
some dates and deets
Okay.
for all of us to enjoy?
Do you want original shake and bake?
Yes. I don't like that. They have like mesquite and
Right.
Southwest style. No, not for me. I'm a Midwestern loser, and I'll just stick to the original.
You can't handle spicy foods because
I absolutely love spicy food, but I can no longer eat it because I'm on a what is that called? A gastrol and I'm on Prilosec. Because I have really bad heartburn, and acid reflux. So probably from all the spicy food I used to eat,
right.
I basically can't have it anymore.
Speaking of things you can't have anymore, I said I would look for you, and I must have been lying when I said it. I looked for caffeine-free Dr. Pepper. Here locally, and I could not find it.
Yeah, the only time that I've heard of it. Okay, back in the day, used to be able to get it here, no problem. I'm talking 20 plus years ago, probably. But I never wanted it back then because I drank regular. Well, whenever I hear about it now, it's the only time I hear about it is people out west or southwest, Texas, California, Nevada. That's about the only time I hear about, people seeing it. If you go on Amazon, you can find like a 12 pack for like $40. And I'm like, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
But in looking for it for you, I did stumble across my latest new obsession. Strawberries and cream flavored Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I've seen several of those. I don't think any of them would interest me because I'm just a hardcore devout
Dr. Pepper guy.
No DP guy, but DP. Sorry.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. But anyway, why don't you shake and bake us up some dates and deets so we can get into this bitch? We're only 20 minutes into recording.
As previously stated, we are revisiting Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 3, Episode 7, the 41st episode of the series overall, Revelations. Our episode director this week is James A. Contner, and our episode credited writer is Douglas Petrie, making his Buffyverse writing debut, another name that'll become prominent as both Buffy and Angel progress through seasons. Our original air date was November 17th, 1998 on the now defunct WB network. Our Nielsen rating was 4.4 million households when it first aired. It ranked 92nd out of 130 original network primetime shows for the week and third out of the 15 original shows on the WB for that week. And this week, I was able to add another interesting tidbit about the Nielsen's. Its ranking as 92nd and 15. It was actually a tie for that position. But I was unable to determine what shows it tied with for those positions.
Wow. What a fail, James.
Sorry. But like I said, I've got a real job that takes up 40 to 45 hours of my week.
What? I don't want to hear this nonsense.
But I thought that
150% on this.
But I did think it was interesting that that it tied for those positions.
Yeah.
With other shows. So.
And we're talking same time slot, right?
Same time slot.
Okay,
same
so it'd
night.
be different. It'd be different network then, yeah.
Right.
God, 4.4 million. Can you?
Right.
I know
So
we say it all the time, but there are all the producers out there in Hollywood right now on TV. They would sacrifice their children to the fucking Kraken for those kind of fucking numbers now.
But think about this 4.4 million households. That's a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. And we know how successful Buffy was.
Mhm.
Yet it's still only ranked 92 out of 130 other shows airing on primetime network TV. And only third out of 15 other shows on the WB, which I guess coming in 3 out of 15 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I would imagine probably Dawson's Creek and Charmed were probably beating it, you know.
Yeah, Dawson's Creek and fucking Gilmore Girls or some shit. One
Right.
Tree Hill.
Right. But yeah, 4.4 million, and to still only be coming in at 92 out of 130 other shows.
And I've
Like, that's insane to me.
I've explained this before for people that don't know, but the way those Nielsen ratings used to work. Okay, so it's 4.4 million households. They considered I know this is going to sound stupid, but they considered each household at 2.5 viewers.
Right. Right.
So I mean, do the math. That's insane. Just, an hour long, teen dramedy basically, and it was pulling those kind of numbers. Yes,
Right.
there are Hollywood producers who would eat their children probably on live television for those kind of numbers.
Right. Our regular cast, as always, includes Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, Nicholas Brendan as Xander, Allison Hannigan as Willow, Charisma Carpenter as Cordelia, David Boreanaz as Angel, Seth Green as Oz, and Anthony Stewart Head as Giles. Our guest stars this week include Serena Scott Thomas as Gwendolyn Post, Eliza Dushku as Faith, and Jason Hall as Devon. Our episode synopsis this week reads: the gang are angry when they learn that Buffy secretly has been sheltering Angel, but they must put aside their differences to fight a demonic visitor.
Well, okay, I guess. Mine reads. Never mind. I forgot to put mine in. I just realized
Wow.
I just now realized that I have last week's in my notes. Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
So you by default this week.
I never ever want you to hear you say that I should be putting 150 hours or
Hey,
percent effort or whatever
you
it was you said.
150%. I do about 62. It seems fair. I mean,
Oh man.
I was like, wait a minute. No, that's from last week. So yeah. My bad.
We open at the Bronze, and right away, our Bronze band this week is once again Dingoes Ate My Baby, which, as always, is really 4-star Mary, and they were performing Run, which remains an unreleased single of theirs till this day.
Because it was fucking ridiculous, and I have something to say.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
They actually come in to him singing, and these are the lyrics that we hear. If I could walk, oh, you know I'd never lie. And that's it. And the song ends. That is stupid. And you may continue.
Xander and Willow are attempting to draw their significant other's attention away from their guilty consciences by bringing up Buffy's distracted behavior lately, and they convince themselves that there's a new boyfriend in her life, and at that point Buffy shows up and assures them that her only date for that night is Faith, who also shows up, and
who is in fact her secret lesbian lover.
That we talked about this. That was a different movie.
Oh, that's
That
right.
was-
That was Buffy.
That
the
was
vamp-
Buffy the Vampire Layer. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. My bad.
Um. Uh. So we cut to a cemetery, and Giles is watching Buffy and Faith as they take on a couple of vampires, who they end up staking. And out of nowhere, a woman shows up critiquing their performance as sloppy and this and that and the others, all sorts of other things. And we find out that she is Gwendolyn Post, Faith's new watcher.
Dun, 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 Face New Watcher. What?
And that is our cold open.
That is our cold open while James is passing away there. I'll take over. It's the scurvy, guys. So then we cut. It's still that night, and we're now in scurvy. We're now in the library, and Gwendolyn is telling the Slayers and Giles that she was sent by the Watchers Council to be Fate's new Watcher and to report back on the entire situation that's going on in Sunnydale, including Giles' performance.
Which, timeout right there.
Mhm.
Once again,
Giles is getting shit on.
Giles is being shit on by the Watchers Council.
Yeah.
Why would they not send him ahead? Hey, we know you've been watching after the other Slayer. We finally got her a watcher. She's coming in to town. Be ready.
We know you've successfully, for almost 3 years, handled the main Slayer and have now taken on the second Slayer.
Right.
But we're a little concerned about your performance issues. So
Right.
we're
Right.
sending in a guy,
Even even like minus like they want her to report back about how Giles is doing, like minus that, like I understand, like that I can kind of understand, like your boss isn't gonna like tell you that they're sending your coworker to give you a performance review.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Someone who is the same level as you are is going to give you a performance review.
Right. Like your boss isn't going to tell you that, but surely someone should have been like, maybe we should give Rupert a heads up that we found Faith a new watcher and we're sending her to Sunnydale. But nope, the Watchers Council was like, fuck it.
Yeah, I agree, but don't call me Shirley. So Giles gets a little uncomfortable with being told that he's kind of under review here. And then Gwendolyn, and she before that, she states that first of all, she comes off very cunty from Jump Street, and she's just a super snobby bitch right out the gate. And she insinuates that Giles is, quote, too American. He's become too American.
She doesn't insinuate it. She flat out.
Oh yeah, she just flat out says it. And he's like, "What, me?" And the whole gang is like, "Him?" And so she's just insulting him, front, right, and center every little chance she gets. And then she tells him there's a demon, Lagos, that is coming to Sunnydale in search of the glove of Meinigan. I can't remember how they pronounced it.
If I remember correctly, it was Monaghan.
Monaghan, okay. And she wants, to make sure both Slayers are at full strength in order to kill this demon, because he's supposedly a real badass. Then we cut to there's a what is it? What's happening? What's happening right now? I don't understand. What does this mean? It's Angel.
Is someone about to help the hopeless?
Probably. I mean, come on, that's what he does, bro. Buffy's gone to the mansion, and she and Angel, Angel, of course, is shirtless. They are practicing.
Buffy regretfully is not.
Buffy, what the hell? Buffy is also shirtless, but she has pasties on, with tassels. No, none of that's happening, and they're just spinning around. No, they're doing Tai Chi, together,
More
and
shirtless Tai Chi.
yes, and one thing leads to another, and they just about kiss, and then of course Buffy breaks it off, and she's like, what am I doing? What are you doing? What the fuck, And Angel's like, yeah, what are we doing? And Buffy's like, not that, bitch. And then she mentions this demon Lagos, and he seems to know something because he's like, Lagos? And he's like, be careful. And she's like, righto, daddy-o. And then she roller skates out of there because she has to,
in her poodle skirt.
right, because she has to go to work at the drive-in, so she's roller skating. We cut to back to the library, and Giles is like losing his
Being a dick to Xander and Willow.
yeah, being a dick. But let's face it, Xander always deserves being treated like Willow,
Xander,
not so much. But
right, Xander
anytime
does.
he's mean to Xander, I'm like, well, that's perfectly fine.
Right, Xander does consistently deserve to be treated like dog poop.
Yeah, because he's frantically searching for this information on this demon, and so he's putting them to work, putting the screws to them, and they're like worn out. Well, Willow's like worn out.
Which, like, this hit me the wrong way. Like Willow complaining that she was tired and wanted to go home.
Well,
like,
I got the impression that it was like really late at night.
Yeah, but I mean, it just kind of flies in the face of everything we've seen from Willow, like literally for 2.5 seasons now.
Well,
like she's usually all about the research and digging in. So I don't know. It just kind of hit me the wrong way.
Oh, okay, go fuck yourself. So what? Who said that? I didn't even hear. Anyway, sorry. So I'm taking up for Willow, you son of a bitch. No. So
all I'm saying is that Ginger Slut should have been more down to help out Buffy and Giles. Okay.
Draw your blade, sir. She's really tired. They go and they sit down by some book stacks, and he starts massaging her, and then all of a sudden, then he's like rubbing her temples and stuff because she's got kind of a headache, and then she just literally grabs his face, and they just start fucking going to Hogtown, dude. Like she is in his esophagus, and fucking Giles shows up, but his back is to him, so he doesn't see anything. But they both are like, "Wow, what the fuck," And long story short, he's found the information. And they both feel really guilty, and of course, and they're like moving apart from each other a little bit. And Giles says that that he's narrowed down where this glove should be to. I didn't put down the name of the which cemetery.
The Von Hauptmann family crypt in Restfield Cemetery.
There you go. And so Xander volunteers to go check this place, and I'm like, what? What? Like, why?
So I backtrack real quick. The naming the Restfield Cemetery made me think of something I wanted to mention before. In the scene earlier when Gwendolyn is like tearing Giles down about how like basically like his library sucks and everything.
Yeah.
We find out finally that there are 12 cemeteries
within the city limits.
Within Sunnydale city limits.
Yes.
So we now have a definitive answer to how many cemeteries.
And even Gwendolyn is like, damn. Like, this town isn't even that fucking big. And he's like, yeah, it is the fucking Hellmouth, you stupid bitch. And then he punches her. And when he did, a small bone in her neck broke, and she instantly fucking died.
Yeah, it was weird.
Freak accident.
It was yeah, very freaky.
the gang came together. They disposed
And
of the body.
they buried it. And
No. Remember they took it to that Mexican cartel guy, and he put it in that 55-gallon drum and like
that's
melted
right.
it. Yeah.
Right. And then they ran it through the car crusher.
Right.
Like-
Right.
like
the
Michael
last Michael Myers.
Like Michael Myers at the end of
Spoiler
Halloween
alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone that hasn't seen that movie that came out almost a year ago.
Well, I thought it was long. Yeah, I guess it was only a year ago. Feels like it's been longer. So anyway, yeah. Xander, as I was saying, decides to volunteer to go like check this cemetery out, but I don't understand why. I'm like, why? Okay, let's now stop. Let's assume that he gets there to the cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
and this demon is in fact there. He's close to the. What the fuck is Xander gonna do about it?
So Xander's not thinking that far ahead, and we do find out.
But I'm just saying, Giles and Willow are like, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, yeah, good idea. Go do that,
Right.
Xander. Like neither one of those stopped to say, wait, what's the point? What the fuck are you gonna do, nerd?
Right. Well, so we do find out that the reason Xander volunteered to go was because he felt guilty.
Because he
about-
says that as soon as he gets
Right.
there. Yeah.
Right. So I'm presuming the reason Willow wasn't like, wait, why would you go? That doesn't make any sense, is because she's also feeling guilty and wants to put distance between herself and the situation. And the reason Giles doesn't say, why would you go, you twat? That doesn't make any sense, is because Giles secretly hates Xander and hopes he dies.
Ooh, you know what? I like that. I like that. We should go with that the rest of the whole rest of the series, and look for little instances where we're like, dude, he fucking set Xander up on that one. He was trying to get him killed. Ooh, I'm gonna look at that now for every episode from here on out.
It's gonna become along with the ever growing evidence that the Watchers Council doesn't like Giles for some reason.
And there's only 3 of them, probably.
Right. Then we're right alongside that. We're going to actively look for instances in which Giles clearly set Xander up to die because he secretly hates him.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it's secret, because whenever shit hits the fan, like Xander is the one that Giles clearly wants to let Ripper come out and fuck up.
Well, that's because usually it's Xander's fault.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying. Oh yeah, I'm not saying Giles is out of line at all. Hell no.
Right.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's very secret at this point that Giles is not a big fan of Xander's. I don't think he would mourn for more than a day or so if he were decapitated. With a lawnmower.
He wouldn't feel it as deeply as he would if, say, Buffy or Willow or even Cordelia were to die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. He would definitely weep for Cordelia. I mean,
well,
she's
yeah.
hot.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you wouldn't have those tight sweaters around anymore,
right? I mean, but Xander, what are you losing with Xander? Just a guy who 1 season ago wore a T-shirt to school that said porn star. So I don't think
right.
I need to say
and tried to sexually assault our lead.
Literally.
Right.
Like,
yes.
Not not a little. No, literally tried to sexually assault Buffy, and yet she's still his friend.
Right.
Anyway, so now Buffy and Faith are walking down the street. It's nighttime. They've been checking all the different, because they're having to go around and check each cemetery because they have no idea which one to do. I mean, Giles has discovered that info, but again, this is the 90s. Nobody had a cell phone. He couldn't just call him and say, hey, head over to, Resting Mule Cemetery or whatever the fuck it was called. And so anyway, they've been doing this all evening, and, Buffy's over it. Faith is over it. Faith's like, why don't we just fucking bail for the night? And Buffy's like, nah, we better do this one last one. And Faith is like, listen, I'll do it. It's on my way home. I'll check that one. You go ahead and fucking skate. And Buffy's like, okay, later, loser. And just immediately leaves. And so Faith heads on, and She's going through, and what do you know? Who won the pony? Who does she see? Our demon, Lagos. So she's like, ooh, it's my lucky night. He's rummaging through so he obviously knows which cemetery to go to, but he doesn't know like where in the cemetery because he's rummaging through just this random.
He's not at the right cemetery.
Oh, he's not?
No, he's at Shady. Where did Faith go? He's at Shady Hill.
Oh, okay. My bad. See, when I was watching the episode, I thought he was at the correct one. Okay.
Nope.
So yeah, he's here and he's digging around and just in a random like above ground burial plot, which okay. He's not finding anything, but Faith is like, sweet, it's my lucky night. She goes running up, they start fucking fighting. Well, he is fucking waxing her. Like she can't do shit to this guy. He just keeps one punching her across the fucking 10 feet away every time, and he hits her again, and finally she can't even get the fuck up.
Like, and this is obviously a powerful fucking dude.
Yes, this is a powerful fucking. This is probably one of the most powerful demons we've come across thus far,
right?
Physically speaking, and so he, lucky for her, he's obviously more concerned with finding this glove. So he just, after he fucking KOs her again, he just heads off, just stalks off elsewhere, and because she can't even hardly get up, she's fucked up.
Right, and after this obviously very powerful demon like stomps off because he can't find his glove, what happens to him, Jeremy?
You talking about where he steps on a mousetrap?
No, I'm talking about the fact that we don't see him again.
What do you mean we don't see him again?
Do we?
Of course we do. We see his death.
Oh.
A little too many meds there this week, buddy.
Interesting.
What? Okay.
No, I'm serious.
You don't recall seeing his death?
No, and I don't have anything about him again in my notes.
Okay. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there, James. We'll get there. But yeah, she's lucky as he stalks off because, he could have probably finished her off fairly easily. She wasn't knocked unconscious, but she was fucking hurt and she couldn't get up. So, yeah, so, we cut to the other cemetery. Xander sees Angel. Dun, dun, dun. Because if you recall, everyone, no one is aware that Angel has returned.
That's right.
But Xander spots him coming out of a crypt with something wrapped up in some type of linen. And he's like, what? And there's no question that with the camera shot, they make it clear that it's not like, he's not like that kind of looked like Angel. I mean, because he's got a clear shot. So it's 100% Xander knows, holy fuck, it's Angel.
Right. And Angel's coming out of the Van Hopton.
The Van Hopton
crypt. Right.
The crypt that he already knows is the one with the glove, and he's got something wrapped in linen. So he's like, oh shit. So Xander, being Xander, decides, I'll follow him, because I can stop this fucking guy, So he follows him all the way back to the mansion, and he pulls out his stake as he's getting close. And I'm like, yeah, because that's going to fucking help you. And he creeps up to a bush and looks in the window, and what does he see? Buffy and Angel straight up triple X fucking.
They are fucking.
No, they're not. No. But they are like doing some serious kissing.
Like Buffy's trying to suck Angel's soul out through his mouth.
Yes, like serious kissing. And fucking Xander is immediately masturbating while he's watching this because he's a cuck boy. And that's the way he likes it. No, he's like, his jaw basically hits the ground, and like he's like, "What? Am I in another dimension right now?" And and we go to a break. Well, what would have been a break back in the broadcast era. And when we come back, James, what do we see?
Everything's on fire.
Yes, it is.
Everything
Yes.
is on fire.
Literally, the screen is nothing but fire.
Yeah, it's flames.
Screams, yell,
Right. It turns Xander has lit the mansion on fire.
and himself.
Right.
He is self-immolating like a Buddhist monk protesting Vietnam.
Well, what he did was he lit the mansion on fire, and then he ran into the mansion, doused himself with gasoline, lit himself on fire, and then hurled himself at Buffy and Angel and just clung on to them. So now Buffy's on fire. Angel is already dust because fire, vampires, boom, done.
Dust.
And it's carnage. It's fucking carnage.
Yeah, it is. He's like, if I can't have you, no one can. Right. And it's like one of those fucking ABC movie of the week, fucking murderous husband, Yeah. So
and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. Well, why don't we talk about some fucking monsterology this week?
No, we come back from what would have been a break, and Buffy and Angel break their kiss, and Buffy's all like, what am I doing? What are you doing? Shame on you, and
why to be shame on him?
I don't know, but I thought it was funny.
Why couldn't she have said shame on us?
Right.
Oh.
But I don't know why. I thought that too, but I was also laughing at it because I don't know, just the way she said it to him was funny to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was absolutely comical, but I was like, it'd be so much better if she had said, we should be ashamed of ourselves.
Right, like, let's take some personal responsibility here, Buster.
Yeah, Bufferoni.
Bufferino.
Right, Buffsriff.
Right. Buffingham Palace.
Buffghanistan. All right.
Buffle Tower.
Wow. Buff Wellington.
So anyway, Buffy's getting ready to leave, and Angel stops her, and he's all like, I have something you want. And he drops trowel.
Drops his pants.
And she's like, you're right, I do want that. And she proceeds to try and suck his soul out of his what? Huh? I'm sorry. I got sidetracked.
Yeah. Wow. Can't believe you took it that far, James. I would personally never do that.
No, you would have taken it farther.
Oh, yes. Oh, much further.
Now he stops her from leaving and shows her that he has the glove of meningitis.
Yes, and might I say, I'm being serious here, the glove of meningitis actually looks pretty fucking cool. Like, it's a really cool prop.
It reminded me of the Witchblade a little bit.
Yes, it did, but it was just, not a lot of the props up till now have been.
Well, right.
Write home about. This was the first prop, man, and it becomes a lot. Like, there's in the Angel series, man, so many cool props in that series. Yeah. But yeah, the glove of meningitis is like, dude, that's pretty dope. Little there.
Yeah, it did. It, like I said, it reminded me of the Witchblade a lot. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind having a replica of it, for a shelf and to put on my penis from time. I mean, what?
Maybe not on your penis, because remember what happened when that one person put it on their arm.
Yes, I do remember.
Oh, okay. Well,
right.
Okay, now I get it. Now I understand why you want one for your penis. Okay, calm down there, buddy.
Okay, sorry.
And then we cut to Giles's apartment, and he and Gwendolyn are fucking. No.
And he's like got her by the back of the hair. He's like, "Who's got the best books now, bitch?" And
Yeah, yeah.
and
Whose library's inadequate now, whore? Um,
and she's literally pulling a switchblade out from her bra because she's gonna kill him afterwards. She's basically a praying mantis.
right, right. Um, no. Although although they did finally let the actress put her hair down in this scene,
Mhm.
and uh, she's Gwendolyn's got a little something going on.
Okay, all right.
She
You
is
said that. Wait, who did you say that about last week?
Joyce and
Oh,
Band
that's
Candy,
right.
like
Yeah, I still can't still
like
get over that one.
teenage Joyce. Like, oh, I was like, all right, okay,
Yeah, you've got
I see you, Mama
listen,
Summers. I see
listen,
you.
listen. All I'm gonna say
I'm
is
not like I wouldn't pay her for it like she
you
would
have
want
some
me to.
interesting taste, my friend. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like I wouldn't pay her for it like she would inevitably want me to, because
Well,
we all know Joyce.
listen, a woman's got to
But
make a living, my friend.
right, but what I am saying is I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
But you're too good to help her, make her rent.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just checking. I
yeah.
mean, I'm not judging. I'm just,
So we cut back to Giles' apartment, and Gwendolyn is once again expressing her disdain for Giles's methods as a watcher, and um,
and at what point? At what point
sorry,
he just has he just had enough and he just fucking needs to punch this bitch? I don't mean like slap her or something. I mean like a man punching a man. Just punch this bitch in the fucking nose. Because I'm just saying, because from the second she's walked on screen, she makes Cordelia look like the kindest, most caring person who's ever lived. I mean,
yeah,
she's just a straight up bitch.
literally everything out of her mouth is
Fucking
it,
mean,
right, and
degrading, and
right. I was just gonna say not just mean, like it is degrading. It is like
yeah,
dehumanizing. Like she
yes.
insults everything that Giles is,
And
and
and it's not just Giles. She just treats everyone like horse shit.
right.
And I
Um,
don't know, people like that need to be punched at
um,
least once. It won't hurt. I mean, it's not going to
right.
kill.
I think it's easier to single out how she treats Giles though, because really she does have the most interaction with him in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
episode.
sure.
So,
Sure.
um, uh, um, she's she's giving him shit about his methods as a watcher, and she starts to talk about Buffy, and he of course gets defensive, and just as he's insisting that Buffy is you know a good slayer, and his methods are fine, and he's in complete control, fucking Xander Lavelle Harris fumbles through the fucking door and uh
Tattletale
tells,
like a little bitch.
yeah, tattletales like a little bitch.
Yeah.
um and
And
we
I'm like,
cut
boy, I can't wait till your fucking secrets come out, you fucking bitch. Because man,
um
he loves like throwing other people under the bus, and they're
right,
when they have secrets and shit. So I can't wait until he gets run over by the fucking bus.
right, right. um there's something I want to bring up about Xander. Like we always talk about what a skis he is,
Hmm.
and like not that there isn't sufficient evidence throughout the series to show us what a skis he is, but like after the series ends in like the official continuation, something happens that like solidifies what a phenomenal skis he is, and I so want to bring it up, but I can't without spoiling like future Buffy things. So
Shit, I don't even know what you're talking about. So, because I never got into the cartoons or not the cartoons, the comics or anything like that.
I'll tell you when we're done recording. But anyway, um so we cut to the library the next day, and Buffy comes in, and um of course she's happy to share her good news about the glove and everything, and but she notices that everyone's there. Giles is there, Willow, Oz, Cordy, Xander, and they all look pissed. And she asks what's wrong, and Giles doesn't beat around the bush about it. He tells her that they all know Angel's alive, and a big confrontation ensues. And she keeps insisting that Angel is better now, and she apologizes for not telling them. And you know, they all kind of relay to her that they're scared of what Angel could potentially do. And Xander, of course, is especially spastastic about it because, his boner's all hurt that Angel's back and he can't have Buffy.
Yeah.
And finally, Giles stops the argument and tells everyone to get to their classes. And he storms off into his office, and Buffy comes to thank him for bailing her out. And this little conversation ensues. I believe you have a clip.
I do.
Thanks for the bail in there. I know this is a lot to absorb, but Angel did find the glove, and that was a good...
I won't remind you that the fate of the world often lies with the Slayer. What would be the point? Nor shall I remind you that you have jeopardized the lives of all that you hold dear by harboring a no-murderer. But sadly, I must remind you that Angel tortured me for hours, for pleasure. He should have told me he was alive. You didn't. You have no respect for me or the job I perform.
Now, I gotta say, I feel like, okay, he's not 100% wrong in his take here and in his feelings.
Right.
But I feel like he's being a little over the top. Number one, she's a teenage girl. Okay, that's the most important, biggest thing. She's a teenage girl, come on. Not only that, but the way that they have all reacted to this situation of discovering Angel has been back is exactly why she fucking lied to them all, because she knew this is how they're going to react. And thirdly, he's talking about how Angel tortured him and all that. No, Angel didn't torture you. Angelus tortured you. They are two totally separate entities. Angelus is an evil, malevolent motherfucker. And yes, he tortured you for hours and for pleasure. Angel didn't. Angel wouldn't do that. And Giles knows this, but he's blurring the two. So, that's my problem with that thing. What do you have to say?
That I have no problem with it. I'm 100% on board with Giles. This.
You would be, because you're a Giles ass kisser.
Not just that, but to your point that Buffy's a teenage girl, that's why this scene, excuse me, was very much the dad equivalent of I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
And I don't love you anymore. Please leave the home.
No.
I don't.
And that's essentially what Giles was saying. Was like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Is basically what that amounts to. And I love this exchange. That's why I had you pull it, because I think Giles is I don't think Giles is right in what he's saying. Like, I don't think it's true that Buffy doesn't respect him. I don't think it's true that she doesn't respect his position as her watcher. I think like you said, she knew how they would all react, and she was scared of that. So she kept it a secret. But what she has to realize now is that keeping it a secret was worse than just telling them outright. And that's where the I'm not mad, I'm disappointed aspect of it comes in. And I don't think Giles is wrong at all.
Well, agree to disagree and agree that I'm right and you're wrong. So go on though.
So then fuck you.
Give me a take up while you
we
cough.
cut to we cut to Faith's motel room, and Gwendolyn shows up, and she's basically telling Faith, she intends to be hard on her, and it's for Faith's own well-being, and she lets it slip that Giles had a secret meeting with with Xander. And then we cut to the Bronze, and Faith finds Xander shooting pool there, and she confronts him about keeping Slayer-related secrets from her.
Yeah,
and,
here's where you've lost a complete scene. This is why you don't know about the demon. You're missing the scene where, first of all, Buffy and Willow met in the hallways of the school, and Buffy was like, so how mad are you at me? And Willow's like, not at all, and 0 on a scale of 1 to whatever, and
no,
yada yada.
I remember that scene. I just didn't put it in because I didn't think it was significant.
Well, but that leads to Buffy asking her to accompany her on a night of slaying since no one else could be reached. And so then they're at the cemetery and they're talking, and Willow is just about to spill the beans about her and Xander, and she goes, I need to tell you. I need to tell you this. Because Buffy had told her that it at least everybody finding out about Angel took all this weight off of her, and it's, easier now. And Willow's like, oh, so then she's just getting ready to tell Buffy her secret, and she goes, I have to tell you. And Buffy's like, what? And she's like, there's a demon behind you. And Buffy spins around. She big karate fight with Lagos, and she like kicks him in the groin at one point, and he bends over, and she sees the axe on his back, and she's like, nice. And she grabs the axe and twirls it around and whack, cuts his fucking head off. And that's it for Lagos. So you missed all that.
And that all happens before
the pool scene.
That must have been when I went to make macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. So I think we both fucked up on notes this week, so we'll just move on.
Right.
But yes, Lagos is now dead.
And we'll agree that you fucked up worse than I did.
Right. I absolutely didn't. You were the Bronze.
Xander tells Faith about Angel. Faith starts to worry about what Angel might do with the glove, so she decides she's going to go kill him. Xander, of course, asks if he can come with. And we cut back to Giles's office.
And she's like, oh, yeah, because you're a real badass. You're really good.
We cut back to Giles's office at the library, and Giles is telling Gwendolyn about the glove, and he tells her where it's at, and a friend of Buffy's is keeping it safe. He tells her that he found out the glove can be destroyed by being immolated in living flame. And she proceeds to fucking knock Giles unconscious yet again. I think we're up to 13 or 14 now on our Giles knockout counter.
But this one, dude, okay, she uses this big ass fucking statue that looks like it's made of marble, and she hits him twice with it. Like, that's fucking death at that point.
Right.
with some
Right.
because she clocks him in the back in the medulla oblongata. Then he spins around and she cracks him right in the fucking temple. He's dead. There is no, at the very least, he's now a vegetable who eats all of his food through a straw. Yeah, he's literally drooling.
For
Giles is no more.
for everyone listening, I just pretended to be a drooly vegetable person. It was
Yes.
very inappropriate.
It was very inappropriate.
I shouldn't have done it. But
You
oh
should
well.
have done it, but
But
we'll
but I did.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, so Gwendolyn Post is evil. Who saw that coming?
Literally everyone, probably. I know I did.
Because we've all seen these episodes before.
I remember knowing it back the first time I saw this episode. Okay, let me be honest. I'm not saying I knew she was bad. I knew something was up with her character for one reason.
She
I was
such
like,
a
why?
bitch.
What? No, not even that. I was like, why hasn't Giles confirmed anything about this bitch with the Watcher Council? So I was like, something's funny here. She's either like, yeah, that didn't do any good whatsoever. And in fact, that amplified it. Yeah, and we just lost both listeners that we have. So yeah, I don't know, man. I always knew. I'm a smart motherfucker.
Well, we can debate about that in a special episode.
Okay. We'll call it Let's Debate How Right Jeremy Always Is versus How Wrong James Always Is. Part 2.
I don't I tried to remember back to originally watching this episode all those years ago, and I couldn't remember if
You're too fucking old.
I couldn't remember if I thought there was anything off about Gwendolyn or not upon my original airing.
You need to take your meds, Granddad. That's why you couldn't remember.
So, you're older than me.
No, I'm not. I'm fucking 32.
You're 44.
That is a lie, and you can't prove it.
Let's go back like 3 episodes where you talked about getting bifocals.
Maybe I was lying.
Also, you have to wear bifocals.
No, I don't. Remember, I sent them back, and I'm having them taken out.
Just because you're not wearing them doesn't mean you don't have to be wearing them.
Well, I wouldn't say I have to be. So, fuck
that's
you.
That's like
Fuck
that's
you.
like if someone with erectile dysfunction doesn't take Viagra, that doesn't mean that they don't have erectile dysfunction.
Wow.
Just because they don't take Viagra.
Why did that have to go to penises? I mean, it could have been anything.
Because I wanted something that you would relate to.
Oh, okay. Are you saying that I am, in fact, a walking penis? And I would relate to other penis?
Or that you like penis.
Whoa. How did you know? Wait, what?
Well, huh?
What's my name
What?
again?
What? Who am I? So then we are. Is that when we are back at the library?
Where'd you leave off? Oh, where she clocks him?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we're back at Buffy and Willow getting back to the library, and that's when they find the paramedic, or Yeah. I could take over if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
And how did you miss okay, this scene when Buffy and Willow get back to the library and they discover the paramedics taking Giles out. Didn't you see Buffy carrying the huge axe over her shoulder?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not even kidding. I'm pretty sure that's when I went to make macaroni and cheese.
Wow. Yeah. So you
and
missed.
I just didn't bother to rewind the episode.
You missed the slaying of the weekly demon, and you're like, we never see him again. And I was like, what? What?
I legit, it's like big in my notes too. I was like, how the fuck do they not resolve Lagos
Well,
in the
they
episode?
totally did. You were just resolving some macaroni and
And
cheese at the time.
it turns out that I just missed the scene because I had to go make some Cheetos mac and cheese.
Yeah. And like you come back and you come to this scene with Buffy and she's standing with this giant double-sided battle axe with blood on it. And you're just like, oh, that just must be what she has to do.
And not only that, but the fact that at no point was I like, maybe I should rewind it since
Since
I missed
yeah.
a good 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah. Oh, James. So anyway, yeah, the paramedics are taking Giles away and he tells her, you must destroy the glove, use living flame. And then Xander like immediately says, your boyfriend isn't as cured as we all thought. And she's like, the fuck? Why would you even think he? Okay. First of all, when Xander found Giles, Xander and Faith, and Faith is all like, he did this, blah, blah, blah. Xander is the one's like, no, this isn't his style. This was an Angel, blah, 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 blah. Now Buffy's there and he's all like, your boyfriend did it. Angel did it.
Right. He does a complete 180.
Yeah.
And I think it's literally sorry. I think it's literally solely based on the fact that he's just pissed at Buffy.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I think when he was telling Faith, like, no, I don't think this was Angel or whatever it was he was saying, like, I think he honestly believes that. And I think right now, when he's telling Buffy, like, oh, it turns out your boyfriend's not as cured or whatever, yada, yada, I think he's just acting out at Buffy because he's mad at her. Like, I don't think he believes what he's saying.
I guess. I just know he's a fucking douchebag.
Right. Like, here's the thing, though. Like, yes, I agree Xander's a douchebag, but I also think that, honestly, they have a right to be upset with her.
I don't see. We're never going to agree on that. We're just not. And besides that point, setting that point aside, he has got some fucking balls to be calling out somebody about a fucking secret with what's going on in his life right now.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
He should shut his fucking noise hole and just be like, you know what? I'm staying the fuck out of this because I got my own fucking bullshit going on and I'm keeping my fucking yapper shut. But no, he has to be Xander and he has to jump all up in her grill and throw fucking, throw rocks while he's living in a fucking glass hut. You feel me, dog?
I'm not disagreeing that Xander's a complete ass. I'm just saying I do agree that they all have a right to be upset with her.
I don't. And I believe Willow's taking the correct path in this. And she's like, no, you had a secret. You were scared and you kept it. Like, it's what you do when you have a secret and you're scared. So fuck you.
But I also think Willow's only being that way because she has a secret that she's scared to tell.
Maybe. You might be right. I'm not.
I am right.
Nah, you might be right. Because I thought about that too. But then I thought, I don't know. Maybe, because you know how Willow is. She's pretty fucking understanding and she's the most level-headed of everybody in the fucking gang. So, yeah, I don't know. We're never going to agree on this. So let's just agree that I'm right and move on.
We can't agree that you're right when you're clearly wrong.
Okay, fine. All right. Xander. So, at this point, Xander tells Buffy that Faith knows everything and blah, blah, blah. And she's on her way. Basically, she's on her way to kill Angel. And Buffy is fucking pissed, which she has every fucking right to be. And she's like,
that we can agree on.
How much of a fucking head start does she have? And Xander at this point realizes his ass is in a fucking sling. And he's like, 10 minutes. And she just gives him a look like, I'll fucking deal with you later. And she fucking bolts and she tells Willow, get this fucking, living flame thing figured out, do that while I go deal with fucking this mess that Xander's fucking made. Because if Xander had just kept his fucking noise hole shut in the pool or at the Bronze playing pool to start with, you know, Faith wouldn't know what the fuck is all, and Faith wouldn't be all riled up and sticking her fucking nose into it either. But, you know, Xander is just a shit stirring, a fucking ass bag.
Yeah.
Who has so much fucking baggage of his own, it's unreal, but he loves to pile on whenever he gets a chance, you know, to any, and it just, I want to fucking reach to the screen and like not punch him, like actually like strangle him until he passes away. That's how much I hate this character and always will. But anyway, so Buffy's heads off. And then we cut to the mansion, and at Gwendolyn arrives at that time and informs Angel that she has been sent by Giles to help him and to help him destroy the glove, and that Lagos is almost there and they need to hurry and do this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Does Angel know at this point that anyone knows he's back? Like, wouldn't he be like, wait a minute, why would Giles send you? Giles doesn't even know I'm alive.
I had that same thought. I was like, why isn't Angel questioning why Giles sent this woman here to help him destroy the glove?
Right.
Because to the best of our knowledge, Angel doesn't know that everyone knows he's alive again yet.
Yeah, because she hasn't told him that the beans were spilled by Xander's peeping Tom masturbation out the window. So, but anyway, she's like, so he's got the
wait, masturbation out the window. So like he was standing at a window doing the old rub and tug, like out it. Like,
do I need to walk you through this?
I'm just trying to put a mental picture together in my head.
Well, you mentally masturbate on your own time, my friend. Okay. So by the way, an Angel already has the living flame going to put the glove in. He was doing some chanting and throwing shit into
shirtless.
Yeah, shirtless. Yes. Actually, he's only wearing a jock strap.
Just a jock strap.
Just
the tiniest of jock straps.
Yeah, no explanation. Like he doesn't even play sports that we know of.
Right.
But,
I mean, I just presumed like it was required for the ritual, but they never explain.
Yeah, I think it is required for the ritual. It's probably in that book where it says, you know, the enchanter must be wearing a dicky, you know, banana hammock, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he has the required banana hammock on and nothing else. No. So he's got the living flame going, and she's like, okay, so where's the glove? And he's like, well, it's there in the chest. And he turns around and she fucking clocks him with a shovel, which I don't know where this shovel came from, but she finds a shovel and she fucking houses him right in the skull. And he goes down like a sack of shit. And then she takes that said shovel and goes over to the chest that has a lock on it. And she, of course, just like on any television show, she very easily breaks this lock with the shovel.
Right.
And pulls the glove out, and she's all fucking happy and shit. She starts tweaking her own nipple. She's so happy, and slides the glove on, and the little locking things go ching 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 all the way around her arm. Oh,
right into her skin, and she's like, "Daddy,
Daddy." It was mentioned earlier in the episode that once the glove has been put on, it can never be taken off ever.
Right.
By any means, like there's not even any spells that can take it off. So,
right.
And it's never really said what this glove is capable of, all the things it's capable of doing. We just led to believe in the wrong hands, it's very powerful.
Right.
So,
much like the final quickening.
Yes, exactly. And or a dark quickening. She now has the glove on, and Angel pops up and he's vamped out. And he's like, wow, that hurt. And she's like, well, it was supposed to kill you. And I'm like, really? One hit to the head with a shovel, and you assumed he was deceased? Okay. She's like, of course, but I didn't know that, that you were a vampire. And about that time, here comes. Well, they have a little bit of a fisticuff back and forth. Oh no, she has not put the glove on yet at this point. I'm sorry, she has
No.
not put the glove on. But they have a little back and forth, and or wait, Hesh. Anyway, obviously gets the upper hand, and that's when Faith comes in. Finally, she sees basically him towering over Gwendolyn, and it looks like he's in the wrong anyway, and she was already there on misinformation to kill him anyway. So she attacks, and Faith and Angel begin long drawn out karate fight. Well, not too long and drawn out. She kicks him at one point. He goes down on his back. He's pretty much helpless. She gets the stake. She's coming down to stake him. Boom. Buffy shows up, catches her arms, and then they go into one hell of a fisticuff thing. And at that point is when Gwendolyn scrambles over, gets the glove, puts it on, chink, 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 and has now got the fucking powers of Grayskull. I don't know what the fuck she supposedly has. Oh, and she fucking back with the glove on, she backhands fucking Willow. And I was like, oh, she's fucking dead. This is a steel, like, mystical glove. Like, Willow's head should have basically come off at that point. And then she's like, Faith, you're such an idiot, basically, for believing me. And Faith is like, whoa.
When did you catch it when Buffy and Faith are fighting? And
the nip slip? Yeah, I saw that.
No, they crashed through a door and into the back garden courtyard of the mansion. Did you see who was out there?
Yeah, Tammy.
Yeah, she was sitting out there in a lawn chair, her feet in the kiddie pool. And even though it was nighttime, she had one of those reflective sun mirror things, like she was sunbathing, and they came crashing through, like, practically next to her, and she was just like, "What are you girlies doing? Why are you fighting over there? You're supposed to. You two are slayers. You're supposed to be friends. What's going on?"
And again, she's got like a 2-inch ash that never falls off.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was just there, and like they kept fighting, and
they just ignored her.
Right, and she didn't bother to get involved.
She was loaded too. There was like 4 or 5 empty, like, we're talking like $7 pints of vodka from a grocery store. Like some really, it's basically just turpentine.
Yeah.
And she's shit faced, so they just ignored her.
Right. She was like, "Don't, sweethearts, don't make me tell Rufus about this."
Right.
Don't make me tell Rufus.
Yep. He'll have to put his partial in, just so you can understand him.
Right. He's gonna have to draw them stick figures for the council again, and they don't like those.
Yeah. Gwendolyn actually says, Faith, a word of advice. You're an idiot. And I'm like, wait a minute. That sentence doesn't even make sense. Word of advice, you're an idiot. That's like saying, I don't know what that's like saying, but it's stupid. So she and Buffy stop fighting, and Buffy's like, at this point, she's like raising her arm into the air and saying some weird shit. And then lightning comes down and gets in her glove, and then she can shoot that lightning at people. And so she's chasing everyone around. And Buffy and Faith are like, oh, fuck. And Buffy's like, can you draw her fire? And Faith is like, yeah. So she goes running in there so that Gwendolyn will shoot her shit at her. Meanwhile, Buffy like runs up and grabs this, like, it was hard to tell, but it was obviously supposed to be a large piece of glass from the double doors they smashed through. Right. But it was really weird looking. Anyway, she picks up a big shard of that and says, hey, Gwen, some kind of line she says to her, and then like throws this large piece of glass at her like a frisbee. and it goes and it cuts her fucking arm off above where the glove is. And for some reason, I guess it's the power of the glove then became uncontrollable or something, and it literally, she imploded.
Mm-hmm.
Gwendolyn like implodes, and they're all like, damn. And that's it for Gwendolyn and the glove. We cut to school the next day, and they're filling Oz and Cordy in on everything that happened. And Giles arrives. He's got a big fucking bandage on his head from being murdered. I don't care what anybody says. He was fucking murdered. Yeah. So he arrives and informs them that Gwendolyn had actually. They're like, so let me guess, she wasn't even a watcher, and he's like, no, actually she was. But she was expelled from the council a couple of years ago for abuses of dark power. And he goes, here we go. This is another sign of the ineptitude of the Watchers. He says, they swear there was a memo. And I'm like, a fucking memo? Now let's hang on. Pause, time out. There's this fucking person in your secret society who is fucking with dark magic and is clearly turned on by it, to the point where you have to expel this person from your secret society.
Because the dark magic is making her moist.
And you don't, yeah. And you don't think, hey, we should make it a priority to inform all of our agents throughout the world of who this person is and what they're capable of, and that we've had to get rid of them, keep a fucking eye out. They might be back for some shit, Anyway.
This is just another clear indication that the Watchers Council dislikes Giles. They have no respect for him whatsoever.
No, they don't. And apparently they don't care about their own Slayer either. But anyway, now everyone is now perfectly okay with Buffy and the angel being back. They're all okay with it. They're all like, we trust you, Buffy. And I'm like, we couldn't have thought that the first time. Like, you know what, Buffy? You kept this secret from us. Kind of crappy, but we trust you. You've saved all of our lives more times than we can count. We're going to trust you, Buff. No, they couldn't do that then, but now they're all cool with it, and they're all like, okay, we trust you, Buffy. And she's like, you know what? I don't need fucking friends like you. And she walks away. Credits. End of the episode. No. Anyway, after school, Buffy goes to visit Faith in her dilapidated, disgusting hotel room that she lives in, or motel room, where we've already discussed what she has to do to pay her rent each week.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
It's the hotel no-tell. That's what it is. Buffy explains the whole thing about Gwendolyn to Faith and who she was and how she fooled everyone. And Faith is basically like, well, it's what I get for trusting someone. You can only trust yourself. And Buffy's like, that doesn't always work. And she's like, you can trust me. And Faith is like, oh yeah, really? And there's just this weird like silence between them. And she's just like, well, if that's everything, then I'll be seeing you. And Buffy's like, okay. And so she turns to leave, and Faith's like, hey, Buffy. And Buffy's like, yeah. She turns around real expectantly. And Faith is like, never mind. And that's literally the end of the episode. I was like, what was that leading? Was she going to say, I love you? I don't know what was happening there, but that's it. Awkwardness abound everywhere.
No, I think we're supposed to get the implication that Faith was, kind of reconsidering what Buffy had said,
but opted for the bitch route in the end.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That's because she's got to have faith.
Sure.
Okay. Why don't you take us into some shit that you talk about after we get done.
Wow. Wow. It's like what I do here doesn't even matter.
No, it really does. Yeah, of course it does, James. Of course it does. It's vital.
Our monsterology this week. No, there's no monsterology. Lagos and the Glove of Menegon are, both more vaguely defined creations of the writers. But according to episode writer Douglas Petrie, the glove was originally supposed to be a, quote, demonic falconer's glove, end quote. Of the idea, he said, when you put it on and raised your arm, this huge dark cloud would burst through the ceiling and take the form of a bird that spits fire. That idea was determined to be unfeasible and unfilmable, so it wasn't used.
You think? Wow. I think it would have worked better if it had been a demonic cock ring. But then again, Gwendolyn wouldn't have been able to wield it, so.
That's true. Well, they could have just
because girls don't have penises. Sorry.
Our body count this week is 4.
Oh.
Our music.
Does that include Lagos that you didn't even see buy it?
Yeah, because I added it after after you covered that scene.
Yeah, okay. The most pivotal scene in the show, and you're like, yeah, I'm eating Cheetos.
No, Cheetos, macaroni and cheese.
That's fucking disgusting.
It's not disgusting. It's delicious.
It is delicious, and it is good for me to poop on.
Oh, my God. Just because you're an old man and you can't enjoy delicious things anymore, don't shit on the rest of us, okay?
Yeah, okay. We're going to have... Did you ever see Herbert the Pervert in Family Guy fight the old man Nazi?
Yes.
We're going to have that fight someday. It's going to take 3 hours just to meet in the middle of the room. Then we'll have to stop at some point to take our pills.
Our music this week, West of Here, performed by Lotion from the album The Telephone Album, released by Revolution. Yes. Released by Revolution Records in 1998.
Lotion.
Yes.
I wonder why they didn't explode.
And that does it for this week. So, Jeremy.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me your final thoughts?
Okay.
And give me a rating out of how many evil rogue watchers you are going to give this episode.
Okay. Well, shut the fuck up, first of all. I can't give it more than a 3. And here's the thing. It's actually a good episode. It's actually a fun episode. But I am so annoyed by the way they treated Buffy and the way that they all act holier than thou. And as everything we've discussed, I won't rehash it all, but I find that stuff so annoying that it just loses points for me. And I don't agree with Giles's fucking wanty little want fest. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those episodes that I really want to like, but there was just too much I didn't like in the prose that I just couldn't stomach. So it just loses points. There was nothing egregiously bad about it. It was a fun episode. It was a basic bottle episode for, more or less, but that's about all I've got to say. James.
Yes, sir.
Give us your final thoughts on this episode. And also, on a scale of 1 to 5 demonic cock rings, how would you rate this?
I am going to give this 3 demonic cock rings. Just because I thought it was a good episode. I wanted to like it more than I did, but I can't really pinpoint why, because I didn't have any of the issues with it. You did. So I can't. There's just something about it that I can't put my finger on. Like I finished it and I was like, I wanted to like that more than I did. And like I said,
Utter mute.
yeah. Like I said, I can't really put my finger on what it was that brought it down to a 3 for me, other than just that overall feeling of I wanted to like this more than I did.
Yeah. Well, what it is, deep down, you know that
No.
everything I'm saying is 100% accurate.
No.
And that's what brought it down.
No. No, that's not it at all.
Oh, okay.
That's not it at all.
Okay, well. Fine.
No, honestly, I don't know what it is, because the story was good. Although honestly, in retrospect, it could have gotten a 3 for me, because I missed an entire like 10 minutes of the episode. So I missed the
You're
like
pissed off about Lagos, like,
right.
how do we never fucking see him again? And I'm like, what do you mean we never see? Of course we see him again.
So that could have something to do with it, if we're being honest.
It's literally those two scenes are literally like 15 minutes of that fucking episode.
So like, in retrospect, it could be because I missed an entire 15 minutes of the episode. So that could be it. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. The writing was quality. The acting was quality. Yeah. There was just something off about it that didn't quite bring it past the 3 for me. So,
well, fair enough. Do you have any closing thoughts or closing ideas you would like to share about this particular episode, or anything else that might be on your mind?
Nope. I would just like to tell everybody that's listening or watching to head over to BuffyRevisited.com. And once they're there, they'll find links to our YouTube and our Facebook. Obviously, on the YouTube channel, you'll find the video version of all of our podcasts, where you can gaze upon our beautiful faces, and leave comments there if you want. You can head over to Facebook, take a look at the various things we post there. We do often post various articles about the show, or people involved with the show. We ask for your opinions on things. So we'd love for you to head over there and leave us comments there. Reach out to us on Facebook Messenger while you're there if you want. You'll also find a link to our email, which is buffyrevisited@gmail.com. Feel free to hit us up there as well. Let us know what you think of us, what you think of the podcast. Talk to us about Buffy or Angel, either one of the series, both of the series, or any and all episodes of the series. We would love to engage in conversation with other fans about the Buffyverse as a whole.
Tell us what you think about demonic cock rings.
I'm in favor.
No. I'm saying, for the people out there who might want to contact us, if you can't think of anything else to inquire about or whatever, give us your thoughts. Demonic cock rings, and also people who cough directly into a microphone. Tell us about that too.
I moved it. I didn't cough directly into it.
Yeah, but it sounded like you were falling down several flights of stairs. So,
I could do that one episode if you want.
Ooh, that'd be pretty.
Yeah. It would be
probably
funny.
the end of our careers, but
yeah, maybe
because you probably die.
Fingers crossed, man.
Fingers crossed. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us this week, everyone. We appreciate it, and you are loved, and we
Not by
Love-
us, though.
We love, not by us, no, but someone out there probably loves you.
But probably not. You all seem very unlovable.
Yes, that is true. Wow. Next week we will be getting into season 3, episode 8, Lovers Walk.
Yes.
Lovers Walk.
Um,
I'm just gonna read that.
not one of my favorites for.
No, it's a weak one for season 3, but
Yeah, I mean, there's one particular reason why I dislike it.
Yeah.
And
Is it jealousy? Is what you're basically.
No.
It's jealousy.
It's not jealousy.
No,
I'm kidding. It's a really good episode. Probably one of my favorites of the season.
They can't all be winners, you know.
No, I just said I was kidding. It's probably one of my favorite episodes of the season.
Listen, at this point, I pretty much ignore you. But with all that being said, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week. I have been one of your hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm your other host, James.
Ta-ta.